Okay, I'm back. I just gave Nicholas his pill too. His evening pill. And some treats, and then I gave Neptune some treats, and then he went and ate them. Then he'll be out here begging for more treats. It's like, I just watched you eat the extra treats I give you when I give you medication. And then the treats I gave your sister. You. But yeah, this is, Arg. That's great, but what does it mean? Feet slam your fist against the door one more time. Chief, I don't know if you hear me, but I'll try and find a way to get in there with you. So someone's there. There's gotta be some way I can get in touch with them, send them a signal. Okay, something I haven't thought of. An emergency communication system? Something that's not tied to the ship? Arg, think. Yeah, the airlock. And the airlock hatch door looms large and dark, and silver shiver runs down you and you rub your forearms. That's something you notice until now, but as you feel the goosebumps cover your skin, you realize the ship's temperature has dropped noticeably. Gotta find a way to get the things up and running again. Dead, no time for stargazing anyway. Hans panels manual control the airlock. I guess the one of a few situations like this could use it, though I don't plan on going in spacewalk anytime soon. Yeah, we're just gonna get these radio. Emergency spacesuits are used in the event of ship decompression failure with the life support systems, or the crew have to abandon ship. Hopefully I can get this solved without needing the extra air supply. Wait, I just changed the batteries on these to make sure the radios would work in an emergency. I wonder if any of the other radios on board will pick up the signal. I don't know Morse code, so I can't really do. Ha, I bet that's what the chief was trying to tell me. Of course she'd come up with a plan like this before anyone else. Now let's see if I can reach her. I'm gonna look at the airlock too. Where we go. Well, I'll get off ship if you through here. There'd be nothing waiting for me out there though, so I better stick to trying to find a solution on board. Come on. Yeah, it's delayed some. You grab the handle of the suit's container and twist. The metal in your hand is noticeably colder to touch than it was last time you were here. Once the lock is undone, you open the door and brace in the suit with your left hand, grab the radio with your right. As you disconnect the radio unit from the breast panel, the spiraling plastic cord that connects it to the suit comes with it. Turn the radio in your hand and find where the cord connects to unscrew the attachment point, allowing the cable to spring back towards the suit. Quickly extend the telescopic antenna and flick the power switch, which causes the sound of one static to fill the previous silent room. You slowly rotate the turning dial, working your way through the frequencies until a familiar voice comes up from the tinny speaker. Chief. Emergency broadcast from Chief Engineer Mackenzie Cathays on the JFS Gundog to any JFS Gundog crew members or any JCF ships nearby. Oh, a little pixel. Gundog has suffered a complete system failure and assistance needed to get them back online. I repeat, this is an emergency broadcast from Chief Engineer Mackenzie Cathays of the JFS Gundog to any JFS Gundog crew members or any other JCF ships nearby. And has suffered a complete system failure and assistance is needed to get them back online. Chief, this is Lieutenant Norrimont reading you loud and clear. I've managed to get an emergency radio from one of the suits in the airlock. I'm able to get around the thoroughfares and to the bridge, but I can't get anywhere else. It took you long enough. What the hell has everyone been doing this whole time? I'm just about to push the button to send your response, but the chief cuts in. Anyway, you're in touch now. That's what counts. You said you could get to the bridge. Is that right? That's right. Then get back up there and get the captain to give me the input codes to access the main computer so that I can get the ship running again. Slight complication, Chief. The captain's taken sick. She's not on the bridge. Classic Bartholomew. Then get back up there and get Lieutenant Commander Quinn to give the input codes. Hi, Neptune. She's out of commission too. She collapsed at the same time the ship's power went out. You release your thumb, allowing the chief to broadcast, but where you expect a swift delivery alternating. Instead, all you get is radio static. Chief. Nothing's ever easy, huh, Lieutenant? Who's currently on the bridge, then? That'd be Lieutenant Lord. Well, she's commanding officer aboard right now. I guess you're gonna want to get up there. I got an idea, but it's not something I can authorize. Grip the radio tightens as a sense of apprehension grows within you. You don't know what the chief has in mind, but if it requires the authority of the ship's senior officer, you know it's got to be something dangerous. Presently, you've been holding your breath since the chief's last message. Breathe out and push the button on the radio side to send your message. Copy that, Chief. Heading up there now. Radio in hand, you quickly make your way back to the airlock and to the central hub, heading straight for the maintenance crawlway. Before you reach it, you hear Hanson call it from the nearby partially open elevator. Hanson, come on, who's up there? Help me. Pause for a second. You completely forgotten about Hanson's predicament since you found the radio. When you last left him, he felt like his justice thirst, but now it's beginning to seem cruel. Pause, well aware that you don't have time to waste. You take a deep breath and... Alright, you fucker. Like, it's tempting to leave him there. But, you know... And I'm still scared he's gonna fight me in the dark. But maybe we can use him for something. Hold it for a second before releasing one long, constant sigh. Hey, I heard you. I know you're there. Get me out. Alright, Ensign. I'll take the door to the right, take the left, and on the count of 3 we pull. Great. Everyone's aboard, ends the polite coward. Figured you stopped by here. Find a nice space to crawl up and hide in. Help me out so we can trade places and you ride out until the action's over. Immediately begin to get your decision. Cruz, do you want me to get you out of there or not? Whatever. Alright then, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, whatever. And then I'd be like, okay then, bye. Like, goodbye. 2 of you both heave against the elevator's doors, but shift slightly, but not enough to Hanson to get out. Okay then. 1, 2, 3. Time the doors yield a little more to your efforts. After they open a few more inches, you step back and catch your breath as you watch as Hanson sticks his arm through the gap, but struggles to get any further than that. One more and we should have you out of there. Shame your girlfriend isn't here. At least she's got a backbone. She could be put into this. Freeze for a moment. All your muscles stiffen reflectively and a wave of anger flows through you. Excuse me, Ensign? You heard me. She's the one not one of you two with any stones. If she hadn't been there to save you the other day, you'd have what? I'd have... Think hard about your answer, Ensign. Give me the wrong answer, you can try and squeeze that thick skull of yours through that gap without any more of my help. Forget it. That's what I thought. Now get ready. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3. It takes the 2 of you a few attempts to finally manage to push the doors open to the point where Hanson can make his way through the gap between the 2 of them. Near the elevator, Hanson dusts himself off and looks around whilst adjusting his jacket. So what the hell's going on? What happened to the ship? Why has everything stopped working? There should be backups or something, right? Pause for a moment. Despite having been on the bridge when everything went wrong, you probably have as much of an idea as Hanson would. Honestly, we've got no idea. I was on the bridge when it all happened. We made contact with the O'Brien, and there was this flash, and Cassandra Quinn had been knocked out. All systems were offline, even the backups. Managed to get off the bridge using the maintenance crawlway. Now we're going to try to figure out a way to reboot the computer to get everything back online. Yeah, that's great. I knew the ship was a piece of junk the moment I stepped aboard. You said you guys had a plan to get things up and running, yeah? Yeah, kinda. Great, you handle that. I'm going to go check on the crew. Have you seen Haru? No, I haven't run into them. Okay then, I'll try their quarters. That Hanson heads to the darkness towards the Forsyth thoroughfare, so I briefly turned to face you. Lieutenant? Thanks. Or whatever. And with that pilot quickly turns on his heels and disappears in the darkness. Don't mention it. More time to waste to quickly head back to the crawlway. It only takes you a moment of groping around in the darkness to find a ladder before you're on your way back to the bridge. As you climb each rung, a grip is cold to the touch, and the air that you breathe is a brisk chill to it. You know what it means, but for the first time, being decided to push that thought out of your head, you've got other things to focus on. Hop seems a lot shorter than your original climb down, and you soon emerge back on the bridge. Vanessa swivels in her chair and faces over to you. So, to get in touch with anyone? Kind of. Put the radio to your face so that the microphone is level with your mouth and push the talk button with your thumb. Oh, I like the little change in audio with the static, Chief, I'm back at the bridge with Lieutenant Lord. Releasing the button, you walk past Vanessa, handing the radio over to her, and heading towards Cassie. Vanessa looks at you from the radio with mild bewilderment before the Chief's voice sounds out from the speaker. Lieutenant Lord? It's the Chief Engineer Cathays. Do you read? Oh. Chief's voice sounds out the speaker. Lord, this Chief Engineer Cathays, do you read? I don't know what happened there with the text, but I thought maybe I skipped past, so that's why I loaded up the log. As you kneel down by Cassie, check her pulse temperature as well as doing your best to tuck your jacket around her. The way the Chief addresses Vanessa catches your attention. Hadn't heard the Chief being that deferential towards anyone, even the Captain. I hear you, Chief Cathays. Captain Bartholomew and Captain Quinn are both incapacitated, so on the command of the gun dog until such a time as they return to duty. Understood? Frowned slightly, hearing Vanessa assert her position over the Chief like that. Although she is the ranking officer of the situation, I've not heard anyone aboard full rank in that way, especially on the Chief, who, if you were under the impression, enjoyed the respect of everyone aboard, including Hansen and Haru. Keep reading them, it is Harv. But when I've looked online, looked at stuff, it's Haru. Yes, ma'am. Good. Now you've got a plan, Chief Cathays, or has Lieutenant Norman brought me this radio so we can have a chat about how nothing's working on your end either. I stand there, turn to face Vanessa. You catch the last moments of the distasteful look she's been making at you whilst your back was turned and your best to bite your tongue. Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant Norma has explained to me that both the Captain and Commander Quinn are out of action. So I'm aware neither one of them will be able to give me input codes required to reactivate the central computer. You know that, Cathays. What's the situation? The only hope we get right now is that the Captain has copies of the documents that contain the access codes in her quarters. If someone can get there, they can get the codes and tell them to me, letting me reactivate the ship's systems. If we'd been able to get in the Captain's quarters, we'd have done that already. The whole ship's in lockdown, and there's no way to get in there. He knows a slight pause before the Chief responds. She could be protected, but you get the impression that she's just as fed up as you are. Not quite, ma'am. Although all the terminal and most of the hardware on the ship is dependent on the central computer, we've got a tool that we use sometimes something needs to be disconnected from the system. We use it for maintenance or debugging the PST or portable sub-terminal. It's effectively a standalone power pack with a microcomputer built in that it provides enough power to activate the hardware attached to the terminal. Let us get into the Captain's quarters, and from there we can get the codes and start the computer back up. So where's the PST? It's in the hangar. Lovely. At least Dalton's in there. In the hangar either. You know, you're stuck in engineering Cathays, but the story's the same for the entire ship. That sounds follows longer this time. That's true if you're trying to get the hangar from inside the ship, man. But the gun dog has two entrances that can be activated entirely manually. The main outboarding airlock and the hangar crew airlock. Oh, we're going out and about. That's what I figured as soon as you said, if someone left the ship by the outboarding airlock, they could make their way to the crew airlock for the hangar and re-enter there. Then they could get the PST and make their way through the ship as normal. I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chief Engineer Cathays, but aren't yourself and Cadet Grange the only crew on board qualified for extra vehicular activity in space? Well, I think I've had training on it. But the thing is, one thing I don't get, if everything's shut down, the artificial gravity's still going. Temperature control's not working now. But we're not floating around. And you're currently stuck in engineering wells. I can't get in contact with Cadet Grange. Just bring us the PST. Yes, ma'am. And feel a knot in your gut internally curse at Dalton for not having picked up enough of the Chief's know-how to have found an emergency radio of his own. And the policy dictates that all EVA needs to be commanded by an operations officer. The knot in your stomach tightens as you take a deep breath and Vanessa's eyes are now locked on you. Yes, ma'am. Slightest hint of smile forms Vanessa's face. Well, Lieutenant, looks like you're going for a walk. Seemed to be coming as soon as the Chief had begun outlining the plan, but you've been hoping that there'd be some extra part that hadn't been revealed yet. Something that would allow you to stay on board. Faced with Vanessa's directness, knot, your stomach tightens further. A sense of nausea rises up from your gut. Fine. People took well to spacewalks. Some even enjoyed them so much as they take on careers in colony construction repair, where they spend more time in the vacuum space than they did inside the colony or on ships. You're not one of those people. You left the confines of a ship or colony a few times in your life. Almost all those times have been evacuation drills that you've been through in school or during citizenry courses. On every occasion that you can remember, you reacted badly but managed to keep it to yourself. Talk about being out in the void, an attachment clip, or handrail away from drifting off into the endless nothingness of space had always filled you with dread. That's a mood. Knowledge that you were a slip away from disappearing forever, irretrievable and helpless. Despite all that, knew full well from Vanessa's discussion with the chief that there was not going to be any way around doing this, and right now you were the ship's, Cassie's, only hope. For as much as you hate the thought of it, if you pushed back against the fear that had been rising up inside you, take a deep breath and resign yourself to what you had to do. Now that we got Hanson fucking lurking around, now I'm worried. Because we're going to be doing this. This is going to be dangerous. Is he going to fucking try to murder us when we're outside? Fine, I'll do it. The chief can walk me through everything that I need to know on my way over to the airlock. The dashing security officer, diving headfirst into danger. Isn't she great, Lieutenant Commander Quinn? So selfless. Vanessa rolls her eyes, covering her mouth with the back of her hand, and putting on a mocking tone. Oh, my hero, so brave, going into space to save us, only you can. She snatched the radio off Vanessa and returned her back to her, heading towards the maintenance crawlway. I thought there was 2 radios. The point that you've had just about enough all you can take from her, so as soon as the situation is solved, you decide the studio and go back to avoiding her. There are 2 spaces, there should be 2 radios. You could have left one here. I'll quit making a big deal of this while you're huffing and puffing, Lieutenant Narwhal. What I've heard, hanging out in space is something of a pastime of yours. Not really. Fine. Hi, baby girl. Getting our war flashbacks now. Fucking thank you, Lord. I can't feel your heart drop in your chest. You quickly spin back to face Vanessa. Lieutenant? Raining in the flash anger you just felt, you suddenly shake your head as you turn back around and grab a hold of the first rung of the crawlway's ladder. Chief, I'm on my way to the airlock now. Walk me through what I need to know. Wait. And as the ladder's rung, you pause and turn around. Yes, Lieutenant Lord. Just managed to ask, they're good at teeth. Don't you think you're forgetting something? Do your best to suppress the urge to scream when you feel building inside your chest. Pause for a moment, stare at Lieutenant Lord, trying to puzzle what kind of mind game she's playing. Lieutenant Lord, if there's... Before you finish, Vanessa rolls her eyes at you and turns her heels, walking back over to the scanner and squatting down. Gnomes yell at Vanessa, lays her hand on Cassie's hip, but you stop when you see her withdrawing a key card from Cassie's skirt pocket. Holding between her thumb and forefinger with a flourish, she waves at you as she stands up and walks back over to you. The Hunter computer can only be accessed by the captain or members of operations. Good luck getting in there without this. As he tosses you the card, Vanessa tosses you the card, which you grab out of the air. You got Cassandra's key card. Turn the card over your hand a few times before pocketing it. What the chief said, the first PST uses battery power to open. I see that, and you see her and each other. I can see what you and her see in each other. But if hooking up a battery to a door will get you around the ship's security systems, you're going to need to have the right authority levels to get through. Honestly. At this point, your jaws clench so hard you feel your teeth might crack at any second, but with the cold chill on the ladder rung reminding you just how dire the situation is, the situation is getting you turned back around. Thank you, Lieutenant. You're just about managed. So there, Chief, I'm heading to the airlock now. Have you got the radio coming through the helmet speakers, Lieutenant? Chief's voice fills your helmet. The sound quality is somewhat worse than the speaker on the main radio unit itself. Loud and clear, Chief. Respond, securing the radio to the suit's press panel. You've got the emergency suit on and sealed? Yeah, currently breathing the ship's oxygen supply. What now? See any access panels next to the external airlock hatch? Base suit's helmet is attached to the rest of the suit in a fixed position, so although you turn your head to check, all you see is the helmet's interior. Turn your whole body in exaggerated motion to look for the emergency access panel spot on the other side of the hatch. I said, Chief, I'm heading over now. Alright, need to remove the panel the same way you did the one on the bridge. Once you get it off, you'll see a large handle. Cracking that lever operates the manual override to open the hatch to the airlock. Understood. Though you had to learn to operate the airlock manually in base training, you didn't feel that was ever the time to dismiss the Chief and act like a know-it-all. She was likely getting her fill of that from the Lieutenant Lord. I'm gonna look at my items though first. Let me access things that my card doesn't have clearance for. Kneel down by the panel and attempt to find the gap between the edge. Shiny walls made a lot harder with the thick material of your suit. A few attempts you find it tips your gloves to catch the recess. You work your digits in more until you find a catch that you can squeeze. Panel falls away. The wall and take hold of it, placing it slide underneath a long handle marked emergency use only. Alright, that's the access panel of the way. I see the handle. Good. Now you're going to want to turn anti-clockwise and keep going until the hatch is open. Understood. We're actually going to look at the, Yeah, I should have taken both radios. Versus basic. Thankfully they were easy enough to access. I'll look at this too. Over there. Let's go on to get that hatch open. Remember my training right? This is going to be a pain in the ass. There we go. Place your left hand on the bottom of the handle and your right hand on top. You apply as much force as you can to push it clockwise. Your initial heave barely moves it despite your effort. Come on. Grip the handle again and place your entire body weight behind the effort to shift. Time moves more noticeably, but when you look at the airlock hatch, it doesn't appear to have opened at all. Another grunt, you push the lever a full 90 degrees, allowing it to return to its neutral position. Although it still resists, you're able to feel the ratchet system mechanism begin to move. Nothing. Hold the handle 90 degrees again before letting it reset. Ever. Just a grip and pull the handle again. Easy. You can play through the grit teeth as you feel the mechanism slowly but surely moving a little bit each time. Carry the process strain against the mechanism. You complete crank after crank. You hear the mechanism airlock grow and strain with each turn. Eventually something gives the mechanism airlock a couple laces their locks and the whole thing slides open. Feel the sweat on your brow and curse that you put the suit on before preventing you from wiping it off. Okay, Chief, I'm headed to the airlock chamber. What's next? See a similar panel opposite side of the hatch inside the chamber. Same deal, but in reverse. Makes sense, okay. Inside the airlock chamber, spot the identical access panel and quickly get to work. Unfortunately, it's just as hard to close the hatch as it was to open it. Your hatch is closed. Now what? Try to keep your breathing under control as the insides of your helmet begin to heat up. Why even another reason you've never been fond of them. Chief, what are you going to need to do next? So, be able to vent the air in the chamber and open the exterior hatch. To start with, Chief walks you step by step through the process required. Although you remember most of this from training, you're thankful to help of a few parts that slipped your mind. Carry the following in Chief's orders until the one with the final momental heave. Until one final momental heave, you get the external hatch open, you step away from the lever and head over to the opening. Seeing the stars in front of you, rather than a terminal or view screen, fills you with the familiar dread you felt on the bridge. Alright, Chief, I'm heading out. Pressing firmly on the switch of the suit's breast panel, you hear a momentarily high-pitched whine as the soles of the boots are drawn towards the airlock floor. The electromagnet's now active. Each step is an effort, but at least you know you won't go hurtling into space. You place one right foot on the edge of the airlock hatch, stare into the emptiness. You see nothing but stars with light years of gulf between them and you. With your next step, you head out into nothingness, pivoting on the axis of your foot at the edge of the airlock. The step that you took into the space brings your foot back down to the gun dog's exterior hull, but even though the ship had fallen silent since its power, it had been knocked offline. It hadn't been true silence. There had been the echo of their footsteps, the almost audible sounds of things other crew members were doing in the far-off reaches of the ship. But out here, all you could hear was your own breathing and the whine of the magnets. Take a moment to orientate yourself and turn 90 degrees to your right, angling yourself towards the front of the ship. With a little difficulty, you bring one foot up and away from the hull and place it back down in front of you. Slowly but steadily, you make your way towards the hangar airlock. Still with us, Lieutenant Norman? Haven't gone hurling off into space or anything? Yeah, you roll your eyes as you plod forwards. Still here, Lieutenant Lord. Good. What's your ETA on the hangar airlock? We do some rough maths around. We know the gun dog's dimensions. It looks around the midpoint of the ship, 250 meters long, about 5 minutes, Lieutenant. It's a Sunday afternoon stroll at the Replicant Gardens, Norman. Pick up the pace. Airlocks is a Sunday afternoon stroll at the Replicant Gardens, Norman. Pick up the pace. I left off to simulate a curse openly at Vanessa before hitting the push to talk button again. Yes, ma'am. Current laborers march to the hangar's crew airlock, slowly heaving a foot at a time away from the ship's hull before placing it back down in front of you. There are a few awkward areas of the ship where the hull rises or falls, and you have to navigate your way across them. The loss of constant bearing begins to disorientate you, but you march onwards, ensuring that you're heading constantly in a straight line regardless of orientation. Eventually you see the distant markings that indicate the airlock hatch in the distance. Though it's marked the same way as the one you emerge from, as the one is much smaller, a little bigger than the typical doorway inside a gun dog. You enjoy a momental celebration, then pick up the pace. Alright, Chief, I'm at the hangar crew airlock. Okay, if you look to the right of the door, you should see the access panel with a lever underneath, just like the others. Okay, let's see. Due to your orientation from standing on the ship's hull, the airlock entryway is laid out at your feet. Shift yourself to be able to look at the right and see the panel, which you hit over and squat down in front of, running your fingers along its edges to find the now familiar recess. With a practice movement, you undo the clip, like the panel inside the ship. That freely come away, this one swings on a hinge, revealing the lever underneath. Hopefully this should be easier on a smaller hatch. You find yourself reaching for the lever. Well, at least we got 0211. Chief? What is that? It's a lever. Run your hand over a few more times on the lever, which is visible, but lay in the hull perfect level with the surroundings where you'd been able to remove the panel, cover the fine recess. There was nothing like that here, making grasping the lever impossible. Can't get a purchase on it. It's completely flush with the hull. There's no way to grip it. Chief? Lieutenant Lord, do you know what the current security code is? Of course I don't. They're like the emergency input codes, only the captain of the second command knows them. Why? Chief Engineer Cathay has asked you a question. A moment of radio static, but you hear the chief's sigh through the crackle and distortion. In order to get entry to an airlock from outside, you did put the ship's security code into the number pad. There's an analog locking mechanism, but you still need that code. God damn it. God damn it, god damn it, god damn it, god damn it. God, you miserable excuse for a captain. God damn it, you Quinn. You absolute airheaded beat. Hey, watch yourself, Lord. Oh, shut up, Norman. Because of your stupid bimbo girlfriend decided now's a great time to take a nap. I'm stuck in a dead ship running out of air. Trying to herd you knuckleheads around on stupid, pointless errands. Stow it. I'm not a big fan of this either, but right now we're the best hope this ship's got. So if you could pull a lid on the gigantic bitch act for 5 minutes and help us figure out how to solve this, we can. How dare you? I said, stow it. 5 minutes, Lieutenant Lord, then once I'm on board, I can handle the rest of it myself. Then you go back to pretending you're the most important crew member. This is a subordination I'll have. Alright, you two, that's enough. Before you invest a snap into silence, both of you invest a snap into silence with the chief's interjection before either of you can set up. Again, she carries on a commanding tone. Lieutenant Lord, do you know how long the security code is? I'm betting it's 0211. You know the punishment for dressing a senior officer like that? No, ma'am, I do not. But if it gets Lieutenant Norimon on board any sooner, I'll say it's worth it. Do you know how long it is? It's 4 digits. Okay. Thank you. Now, do you have any idea? Of course I don't have any idea. It's Quinn's responsibility to generate and set those kinds of codes. By the way, if you ever have access to my quarters, the passcode to lock is our anniversary. It's pretty much the same passcode I use for everything. Yeah, so it's just giving you a flashback, so you don't even have to remember. I think I might know it. What? I said I think I might know it. It's... You rack your brain trying to remember the date you and Cassie first visited the Robo Amusement Park. It was... Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this cooperates with me, because it's not... I had to hit that 3 times. You punch the 4-digit security code and then hit the key. As soon as you do, the lever rises out of the recess. Haha, yes. You got it, Lieutenant? Yeah, it was 0211 in case that helps. How do you know what the security code was? That was sensitive information. I don't want to tell Vanessa the reason you were able to guess the code. It was yours and Cassie's anniversary, so instead you scrambled it for a lie. That's the passcode to Lieutenant Quinn's quarters. I can't believe it. These codes are supposed to be secure. How could she? For the time being, Lieutenant Lord, how about you just focus on the fact that I'm able to get into the hangar? Shifting your position away from the number pad, you squat down by the raise lever. Taking it in both hands, you find it much easier to crank than the ones on the main airlock, and no time at all the exterior hatch of the airlock is open. Step inside the ship, you find yourself in a chamber almost identical to the airlock you left earlier, with the exception that it was much smaller. Moving quickly now, you close the exterior hatch behind you and follow the inverse process you carry out to leave the ship, pressurizing the chamber with oxygen and opening the internal hatch. A few short minutes, you're back inside the familiar space of the ship's hangar, and you remove your helmet, happy to be breathing something other than the ship's oxygen supply. And disengage the electromagnets before moving the suit completely, making sure to take the radio with you. Now unencumbered by this bulk and low gravity of the hangar, you gently drift towards the equipment storage and easy silence surrounding you. Dalton's somewhere in here. Supplies, portable subterminal, that chief mentioned should be in there somewhere. I guess I should get looking. I'm not going anywhere. It's a good thing that the crew airlock could be controlled manually. Not any good right now. I'll have to look through the crates by hand. Frames of power internal generators, so they're one of the few items of the ship that still work. Not much use though, since they'll need to tear their way out of the hangar to get anywhere. I have a feeling that might be something that happens later on. Okay, use... Let's see if that PST is going to be anywhere in here amongst all the stowed equipment and gear, so... Darton's collection stacked suspended crates, containers in various places, heavy machinery, looms, and timberland. Looking for a container, can you realize that there's none of them are marked in any way that makes any sense to the uninitiated? Taking a heady reach to the radio and ask the chief what you're able to find it. Wearing collar, you hear rustle of jumpsuits, fabric behind you moments before wavering command. Stop right there, the intruder, identify yourself. Raise your hand slowly, be careful not to make any sudden movements. Dalton had done surprisingly well to get the drop on you, and if he was under the impression you were the enemy, he should be armed to confront you like this. Adios, cadets. Me, Lieutenant Norman. Oh, Lieutenant, I'm sorry, I thought that... Turning around slowly, hands still raised, you smile. Don't worry about it. You did good to sneak up on me like that, if I was the enemy. Pausing mid-sentence, sighs, you realize that Dalton really isn't holding a firearm. Cadet, what is your weapon? Man? I've been envious that you were planning on making do without a weapon for encouragement. Dalton pauses briefly, and you see realizes and flashes his eyes. Ah, sorry, I didn't think like that. Well, I thought like that, but which is... He's up, Dalton. When this is all sorted out, we'll go over anti-boarding procedures, okay? Yes, thank you, ma'am. Although, exactly what's going on, Lieutenant. I was just finishing up something when all the power went out. I haven't been able to get in touch with anyone. It takes a few minutes, but you quickly fill Dalton in the events taking place on board the ship, including your current objective of attaining the portable sub-terminal. Emergency suit radios. Why didn't I think of that? Chief's going to be so mad. She was teaching me such suit maintenance last week. Hey, take it easy, cadet. No one on the ship figured it out on their own either, so you can... Don't beat yourself up over it. I guess. I hate this grogginess. I'll use my voice. So don't worry about that. What you need now is to find the PST. Do you know where it's kept? I think so. Let me look. Picking up the container next to him, Dalton propels himself. Once he arrives, you watch as he opens one, rummages through various bits of electronic-adjacent looking hardware, which facetiously replaces before closing the lid and moving on to onto the one next to it. Takes the cadets, checking a few different storage crates before eventually he draws a device the size of a briefcase, with it firmly in hand, and he slowly drifts back towards you, presenting it once back. Here you go, Lieutenant. This is what you're after. Got a portable sub-terminal. So it's a portable sub-terminal, huh? You take the hefty device from Dalton and turn it over a few times, investigate it from different angles. Interior and largely one-off white plastic shell with a handle attached, allowing you to carry it like a briefcase. One visible stain that runs along the entire case is two conspicuous collapse that you release, causing part of the device to fold out, revealing a keyboard alongside various screens, buttons, disk drives, and withdrawable cables. Alright, Cadet. Can you give me a quick rundown of how to use this? Yes, ma'am. I guess the entry to the thoroughfare would be a good place to try it out. But sounds better than going for another walk inside the ship. Let's go. Two of you make your way to the hangar up the flight of stairs that lead to the four-sided thoroughfare. Once at the top, you're faced with an unyielding set of double doors. Okay, ma'am. First, you need to take the cable from the PST and connect it to the underside of the terminal next to whichever door you want to open. After that, you turn the device on. We'll do that now. I'll show you the rest once it's active. Let your battery-powered computer used for maintenance and debugging on the ship's systems. Battery should be enough to power the doors I need to open. Following Dalton's instructions, yield by the terminal and withdraw the cables from the device. It's awkward in darkness, but you eventually connect the cable to a port on the bottom of the terminal. Once you get the sub-terminal connected, you can use it in the same way you would the normal terminal. Let's select the right function on the menu and insert your keycard in the slot which requests to you. Give it a try now. Alright, let's see. On keyboard, you select the override function, and then as Dalton advised, insert your keycard. Expect it to slightly slower than you like the door opens, allowing access to the four-side thoroughfare. Great work, Cadet. Oh, excuse me. All you need to do is get to the captain's quarters, and then engineering, and we'll have the gun dog back up and running in no time. Oh, look how fucking sad he is. You okay there, Cadet? Yeah, it's just that I forgot that you had to go get the codes from the captain's quarters. Isn't that against the rules of subordination or something? I thought it was forbidden to go in the captain's quarters unless explicitly instructed for duty. Silent Dalton shakily moves the cable from the terminal underside and closes the lid on the PST. Technically yes, but right now the choice is insubordination or we all suffocate in the vacuum of space. But don't worry about it, I'm sure the captain will understand why I had to do it. Besides, I always want to see what their quarters look like. So I'd say it's worth it, right? I guess. Place a hand on Dalton's shoulder and take the terminal from him. Anyway, you take it easy here. I'll try to raise the chief on the radio, see if she's got anything for you to do. I've got to get moving. Yes, ma'am. With that, you give Dalton a casual salute and return to... He throws a frigid formal salute back at you. Smiling to yourself, you head through the now open double doors and into the thoroughfare. I wonder if I can get the fire right now. I have to hurry up and get those codes. Okay, it won't let me check anywheres anyway. Wonder if it would let me open anywheres else. Now inside the captain's quarters, you look at the heavy device in your hand. It's taking longer than you'd like to get there, but at least now you can get those codes from the captain. Okay, first I get the PST. Portable sub-terminal. I kneel down terminal on the side from the terminal to the side of the door, laying the PST on the ground and clipping the catches that hold the front of the unit closed. Start it up, you swiftly draw out the cable and connect it to the terminal's underside. Squinting at the screen's phosphorescent glow in the low light, you scroll your way through the series of menus to select the unlock function. Once you hit the command, a prompt shows up on the screen. Alright now, need Cassie's. Now, the device reads your keycard. You hear the soft whir of the door unlocking and hiss as it slowly opens. Okay. I leave this here for the time being. Stand up and in front of the door, which continues the painful, slow opening. Come on, come on, come on. Captain, are you? That's our... Well, I guess she's not sick, she's drunk. Step across the threshold in the dark of the captain's quarters. You're instantly overwhelmed by the powerful fetcher. You gag and stumble your way back to the door, taking a deep breath of the corridor sterile air. You try to compose yourself, but the odor drifts out around you, and particularly acrid waft stings the back of your throat as you take another breath, causing you to gag again. Ack. Atmosphere ship. In colonies are carefully regulated air supply, constantly scrubbing, recycled. Because the strong smells are sometimes something that almost never encounter and quickly dissolve. Relative to the ship's life support out of action, this has been happening, and whatever's caused stench in the captain's quarters has been left to purify the air into this awful miasma. A few more wretches, you steel yourself to re-enter the room. Praying you bring your arms out in front of your mouth and nose, do your best to bear the stench. Although you are doing your best to breathe as lightly as possible, the odor still assaults you, almost too much to bear. Captain, are you cough? Are you here, Captain? With no answer, you carry the deeper into the quarters. As you grow accustomed to the smell, you begin to pick up the unique odors that it's comprised of. First set that you identify brings back memories of early flight training. The acrid tang of vomit. Second takes you a little longer. Sour and chemical. Wonder for a moment it's one of the substances they use to strip paintwork from ships or armored frames, but then you spy an empty bottle on the desk. Realize what it is. Stale whiskey. Sick, huh? Cause of the captain's absence is now obvious. You look around the room. To the left, another closed door, and to the right you see an open doorway. Looks like the end of the bed. Captain? But call it again as you head towards it. Although your reason for being here is highly justified, I still feel a bit hesitant about barging in. Captain? Nothing. Alright, Captain, I'm coming in. We need those. Having stepped through the doorway, you find yourself in a dim room that's much closer to a normal bedroom than the crew quarters. Rather than access panel flush with the wall for storage, the room is actual furniture. Chest of drawers sits below a large mirror, and beside tables right next to an unmade queen-size bed. For a moment you think that, like Cassie is wont to do, the captain has just thrown her worn uniform onto the bed and left it in a heap. But before you turn back, sluggish moment, the mass is crumpled. Clothing turns over, revealing it to be Captain Bartholomew's herself. Captain. Though salute and hold up for a moment before you realize that the captain is completely oblivious to your presence. Carefully making your way towards the captain's bedside, you rush out. The smell of stale whiskey is strongest in her immediate vicinity. Look around, notice another bottle lies mostly empty, with a small pool of amber liquid left in one of its corners. Captain. Run your hands through your hair and sigh loudly. Regardless of all this, you remind yourself you're here to get the emergency input codes. Captain, hey Captain. Captain Bartholomew. Place your palm on the captain's arm and rock her gently. Yeah. Can we like shock her? Captain, come on. You need to wake up. We need your emergency input code. Yeah. Captain, wake up. Captain. Step back and place the bridge your nose at the thumb and forward. Despite everything, doesn't seem the captain will be waking up from her stupor anytime soon. Come on, after everything. Can't get the codes of Captain directly. Maybe she keeps a copy around here or something. Doesn't seem the type to do that, but whatever. Worth a shot. No. I haven't checked their tasks lately. Yeah. Obtain the access codes. Actual bathroom, I wonder what's in Ack. Actual bathroom, alright, but now that I know where the smell of vomit was coming from, what was I expecting to find in here anyway? Heading out of the first colony fleet to enter Jupiter's orbit. Remember, civics lessons, they were funded by the wealthy Terran and industrialists who had built them to serve as habitats for the workforce that would harvest resources from Jupiter and her moons for his company's sake. After a few decades, the population had enough existing with no autonomy and living in company script, so they took control of the fleet, ambition to join the Solar Federation. We all know how that ended. This bedroom's actually pretty nice. It's the first thing I've seen at Captain's quarters, so I don't know if they're this different privilege or rank, I guess. Empty bottle of whiskey aside from the few leftover drops, you rope his colony special blend. Her nice desk must be where the captain does all her work when she's not on the bridge. If that's the case, then, as I thought, it's got a few doors at the back where she'd set the codes there somewhere, they'd be in there. Yeah. This music's really creepy. Come on, you can do it. This is that they used to brew it in the old fuel tanks, which gave it its particular potence. From how it tastes, though, you may No, I think it's a myth. I never touch it. Not that the captain's left any to ship. Come on, there we go. I've known since Cassie hand printed the captain reports and status updates. Maybe she's still got a copy of those codes in there. Try to open the top drawer, but the small amount of finished will give stops almost immediately as you hear a clunk. Try a few more times and spot a keyhole on the left of the drawer. Checking the second and third drawers gives you the same result. Locked, of course, I'll have to find the key. You're a security officer. You should be able to unlock that. Captain, come on, wake up. Can you tell me where the key to your desk is? I'm going to use the painting. Adventure games. I thought there might be a safe behind or something like movies. The whole thing is a reproduction that's been directly applied to the wall panel. Even this frame is bolted on. Nope. I don't need it to. I really rather not use it, considering the state that's in right now. Arg. Couple enough making your way in here in the first place, but now that you're about to rummage your way through the captain's personal effects, you feel even worse. Let's get this over with. Do a quick scan of the room in the hopes that the captain may have left the key on top of the chest of drawers or a bedside table proves fruitless, so you tentatively step back inside. Nervously looking back at the captain's comatose form every few moments. Sorry about this, Captain. Hanging in the chest of drawers, you lay your hand on the top and drum your fingers before nervously pulling the top one open. Seeing only folded clothing inside, you close it quickly, going on to repeat the process for the next two drawers, finding nothing. Stepping back and taking a look around. The only immediate, obvious place left to check is a drawer on the bedside table right next to the captain. Moving over to it, you squat down beside the unit, accurately aware the captain's sleeping right next to you. The light's next to impossible for you to make out the contents of the drawer, so you have to settle for reaching inside and feeling your way around. I bet you're going to find something a little, personal. Moving around the contents, you try to figure out what's in there. A thin plastic surface with regular bumps, which feels like it has foil on underside. Small glass bottle, a series of raised dots just under the label. Various individual papers. Aha. Grab hold of what feels like a keyboard clipped to a lanyard and pull it out of the drawer. The metallic jangling sound that comes with it is quickly revealed to be a key ring featuring various different keys. One of these has got to be the key for those. Oh, we've been caught. You're awake. Captain Bartholomew. Bartholomew. Lieutenant. Breathe, placing hand half in the drawer, half into the captain's identity card keys. You hadn't seen her stir, but the blink of an eye, Captain Bartholomew had managed to reach out and grab the hold of your wrist. I'm just following orders. Plus, you quick yank her arm back and try to find a way to convince Captain not to marshal you here now. Captain, I was here. I'm here too. I need to. Captain Bartholomew. It's an emergency. We need to reboot the computer, and Commander Quinn's ill, so we need your codes. Codes? Yes, your emergency input codes. We need them to reboot the ship system, which is why I'm here. Lieutenant Lord ordered me in here to find your codes, so I need your keys so that I can... Sounds important. Just stop making so much noise. With that, Captain slowly releases your wrist and draws her hand back towards her. Grabbing a handful of duvet, she rolls over, facing away from you. Let's hope she doesn't remember that when she wakes up. Got the captain's key ring. Just gonna let her sleep. Keys presumably have all got something to do with ship systems. All I've got to worry about is the one that opens the desk drawer. Yeah, I hope with the new build it's not as laggy. Okay, let's see which one. Spend a few moments working your way through the selection of keys that hang from the ring on the end of the captain's lanyard. You're able to discount a few on their, based on their usual shape, but finding the right one still a tricky task in the gloom. Basically, you find one that slides easily into the lock and turns the mechanism, which turns it with a surprisingly hefty clunk. You immediately open the top drawer and start rifling your way through the papers it contains. Come on, come on. Working your way through the mass of papers, folders, documents are stuffed into the drawer. You squint at each one and try turning it over to quickly identify important details. Naturally, you scan the last document left in the drawer before placing it on the desk and moving onto the second drawer down. Crew manifest security updates, haha. You see the telltale tractor feed edges of the printer paper that you've seen Cassie produce updates and reports for Captain on sticking out from underneath the manila folder. Grab it, lift it up in the light, staring at the top and letting the rest continuously ream of paper unfurl. Your eyes scan the document for any key phrases that look like appropriate until you see what you're looking for. Classified code system access codes. Generation date 2004-02-14. For Captain and second only. Finally. Tearing the relevant page of the rest of the document adds perforated as you fold it up and stuff it into your pocket. You got the access codes. Turning to leave, you pause for a second for taking a moment to quickly stuff the rest of the documents back into their relevant drawers and then locking them back up. With the codes finally in your possession, you briefly make your way back towards the corridor outside the captain's quarters where you left the PST. As you approach the doorway, you take hold of the radio and push down the transmission button to report the good news. Okay, Chief. Lieutenant Lord, I've got the codes. Release the push-to-talk button and wait. Give it a moment, but instead of more instruction from the Chief or some kind of backhanded congratulation from the Lieutenant Lord, all you hear is powerful hiss of static. I hope letting crews out wasn't a bad idea. Chief? You try again. Lieutenant Lord? Still nothing. Anyone, come on. You give the radio a shake and spend a few moments adjusting the frequency dials, but you don't hear anything, or anyone, just a hiss of static. For a moment you feel like you're throwing the radio down the corridor, but instead you slump against the nearest wall and hold your head in one hand. Clutching against the wall in low light for a moment, the longer you sigh loudly before turning and kneeling back to the PST, which you begin to pack back up. You've got the codes, can't get them to Chief over the radio. Next thing you decide is to get them to her in person. Flip the latch of the PST closed and pick it up as you stand. Turn to make your way through the darkness towards the four-side thoroughfare. Well, at least we can get in the hangar now. I'm gonna go in the hangar just to see if, time for that right now. All I need to do is get to Chief and Engineer, and that's all and then get Cassie to sick bay. I was hoping that he might have heard. Should have a look at the elevator. I had to force doors open, but I shouldn't go inside knowing one of these work at the doors are shut on me once I get inside or something. Got the off thoroughfare. Found that large blaster separates the air. The engineering department began an increasingly similar process to unpack the PST. Alright, let's set up the PST. Is this actually going to work? First, scroll the cable and plug it into the terminal near the door. You boot up the device and begin cycling through the options. Okay then. I'm going to use Cassie's card from now on, I think. Device set up and hit the card and lock. Turn your attention towards the partition stands between you and the engineering department. Like the other doors, the TS battery power has been used to open this blast door. Is inches thick and comprised entirely of solid steel. Watch attentively as a low grinding sound emanates from the ceiling fan for about 10 seconds before the door eventually begins to move. Like the others, the opening process is antagonizingly slow. In the darkness of the thoroughfare, time seems to lose all meaning as you watch the door almost imperceptibly move its way upwards. After a few minutes, the barely noticeable progress comes to a halt, and the low grinding sound stops, with the blast door giving you just over a foot of clearance between it and the floor. Turning your attention back to the PST, you've got a graphic empty battery with a cross through it blinking on the screen. Oh no. Yeah, I forgot how hot we were. When the blast door is being kept up by the devices when the battery power, you drop onto the floor and grab the PST, beginning to crawl forward to engineering. That's enough clearance for you to worm your way underneath, but smooth panel flooring turned to grading makes it an uncomfortable experience. Time to make it halfway through, your feet sticking out. Off thoroughfare, the grinding noise that you stop with the door starts to back up again. No. You shove the PS head through the small gap, and you're mindful to not yank on the cable plugged in the underside of the terminal. Ignoring the grate now, you quickly scrum the rest of the way until you're clear of the door. And rolling into the back, you grab the PS cable and give it a swift tug, pulling it out of the terminal and the other side and back just before the blast door drops shut. That was way too close. So you stand up quickly and pick up the PST, which still has a low battery warning blinking on the screen. Chief! The call is met with impressed silence. It somehow seems worse than the vast space of the engineering department. Chief, it's me, Lieutenant Normand. I got the PST. Chief. Ring way past the various system terminal stations, machinery continued to call out the chief, but there's no response. Where the hell could she be? We're continuing away deeper in engineering and grab the radio. Chief! Looks like the last time you heard, no one answers your call, and all you hear is static. Chief. Got in different catwalks trying to wait on the chief, your mind racing as to where she could be. Chief. With a low battery warning illuminating your face in increasingly small intervals, with its constant flashing, you stop. Look at the PST screen and make a decision. Well, I've done everything else myself. Coming back to the main section of engineering, you make a beeline over to the room that holds the central computer, your footsteps to the grating echoing through the silence. You may as well finish things. Then run the PST starts to beep and the battery symbol flashes even more rapidly. If you're running out of battery, then don't use what you got left, flashing and beeping. Running at full pelt towards the central computer, reach it just as the PTS whole screen begins to blink, cycling between showing the warning and nothing at all. Once you arrive at the doorway that leads to the central computer, you know what you've got to do. Use the code needed to reboot the central computer and get the ship's systems back online. Normal circumstances are only given to the captain and head of operations. Takes no time, you withdraw the cable and hurriedly plug it in the terminal with one hand while scrolling through the options with the other. Come on, hang in there. Come on, almost there. And now, there. As soon as the door begins to open, you jump to it and start pushing in order to force it open. Once you've made the gap large enough, you slip through at the exact same moment as you hear the PTS power down and the door slides back shut. It takes a moment, but your eyes adjust to the darkness of the room. Looking around, you see it a little bigger than the clean cupboard or crew's quarter shower cubicle. Massive thick cabling run from the ceiling and floor alongside the walls towards the end of the room opposite the doorway. On the far side, a huge screen with keyboard positions below it of about waist height. Flipping through the interface, you run your hand over the keys. Your computer shows no sign of life even after you begin to push random buttons. Alright. The master keyboard doesn't produce any response, so instead you begin to feel your way around its casing in the dark, trying to find what may be a power button. You should find a rocker switch set to the side of the device. Flick it to an alternate position once, but nothing happens. Further off, you flick it back to the position it was in. This time the screen illuminates and you hear electronics come to life. So I turn it off and on again. Hard drive somewhere beyond the screen begins to whir loudly and screen positions from a screen boot to a password input screen. Yeah, like what I'm guessing is Hansen and Haru are just in Haru's room fucking. That's what I think they're probably doing. But it's kind of worrying that Cruz is, stalking around the corridors ready to attack me too. That's kind of worrying. So, that's what the more preferable option is, that they're, secluded themselves. There's a hard drive somewhere beyond the screen begins to whir loudly, screen transitions from its boot screen to a password input screen. After getting everything you've been through, you're now one input away from getting the ship back online. Alright, finally. And enter. The final floor is your selected return queue. This feeling satisfaction as you watch the computer work its way through the startup process. Names of systems show up and are followed by the status change from offline to active. A faint draft runs down your neck, which means the life support and ventilation is back online. Alright, hold on, Cassie, Wait, what? No, come on. Hit the gut punch of panic as visuals of the screen begin to warp. Fragments of text scatter and code lines split and distort into strange noises, squeals from the machinery. Don't do this. Sure what's going on, begin to think that's your fault. To look over the keyboard again, repeat the strike only a key that seems to make like I might stop this process. End, escape, pause. Come on. What's going on? So they start to use the right activity season with the only doggle about the screen's Cassie's personal file. Negative. I can't read any more of that. Access file, wait, why? Sure whether you should do anything or leave it as is, you tell from the ambient noise and its return that the ship is back online, but why would the computer figure it like this? Why would pull it past